Welcome back. So in our previous episode, we looked at planning, where we planned how we are going to build this entire e-commerce. Now in this episode, we are going to start the programming, and this is what we are building. Okay, this is what we are building right now. So we are going to start building the home page. Okay, so we are starting building the home page. As we said, the first one is building the front end, and in the front end we have the first one as the front store. So the front store, we are starting on it, and the front store had a lot of pages. If you remember, it had a lot of pages. The home page, we are starting with the home page. So we have all these pages we are going to be building, but the biggest of all is the home page. Okay, so we are going to start with our home page, and the home page is divided in very many sections. We have this upper section here, there is this one, there is this one, and there is this one. There are so many sections, but we'll be building one by one, and most importantly, understanding how the techniques of building faster, or the techniques of how you could build something like this. Okay, so the first thing we are going to use on our tech stack, as we said, in the front end we have HTML, Sass, Bootstrap, Vanilla, and jQuery. We have to make sure we are at par with all these ones. Okay, so we are going to first add Sass, and I think we set up last time, we set up Sass. So last time we set up, we created this main.scss, and there is nothing there. We also installed the extension of Sass compiler. So if you did not install that Sass compiler, please install the extension for the Sass compiler so that we can move on well. Okay, just install that extension, please, and we move on. Okay, so that is great. Great. So I have my index here, which is having nothing other than this this one. So I'm just going to put here some words. So we are going to start building right now. So the first thing we start with on a website is, so let me just go this side. We are going to start with, in this lesson, I'm just going to click here to bring in another frame. So I'm just going to click on this desktop, and that would be okay. So what the first thing you are going to do is, we are going to add Bootstrap to our project so that we can move on. So I'm just going to go to their website, getbootstrap.com. Get Bootstrap. Okay, so you could just say get Bootstrap. Now we are on, just type in Bootstrap or get Bootstrap. Okay, you can just simply type in the word getbootstrap.com here. When you reach on getbootstrap.com, then you can see right now we are in version 3. Okay, so the most important thing with Bootstrap, and why we need Bootstrap, the most important thing why we need Bootstrap is, one, Bootstrap will help us on responsive. As you can see here, build fast responsive site with Bootstrap. So the purpose of Bootstrap in this case is to help us build faster in responsive. Some things we'll be using Bootstrap, and I will be explaining line by line on why we are using a certain class from Bootstrap and what it is going to help us. Okay, so that is one. So the first thing we want to look at is how to install Bootstrap. Just move step by step. Other things you will get them. I also have a quick start responsive design with Bootstrap. I have that video on my YouTube channel. You can just find it and see it. But just don't worry if you have nothing you have with Bootstrap, you know nothing with Bootstrap or Sass. We are going to move step by step. Okay, so by the way, to see that even I still also have a video on Sass. So if you have not done Sass, you can also first watch that video to bring you up to speed, then you come to this tutorial. Okay, so we are going to start with adding Bootstrap. So how do you add Bootstrap to your project? So we are here on bootstrap.com. So click on docs, or documentation. So when you reach in the documentation, you can scroll to where they say introduction here, and that is the first part. So when you scroll and you reach on introduction, there is a part where they say include Bootstrap. So you can see here, quick start. They tell you a lot of things. Create a new index.html, of which we already have, and they tell you everything. So here they say include Bootstrap CSS and JS, place link and head in our CSS, blah blah. So read very well, but what they mean is that they give you this starter HTML, which has the link and this JavaScript here. So simply copy this. There is this button in the corner here that says copy to clipboard. Copy that. Go to our HTML. You can remove all this one and then paste. Okay, and now you paste the one which has this the script for JavaScript. So just go on top here where we have this href bootstrap 0.3. Just on top here, put a comment and you say bootstrap CDN. So this is a bootstrap CDN CSS. Actually, this is bootstrap CSS CDN, and you can also put this comment at the end here like that, so that you know the bootstrap is inside here. Okay, that is good. Now when you continue reading down here, is something they say here. You can also include popper and our JavaScript separately if you don't plan to use drop downs, popover and blah 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 blah. But what it means is that if you want to use pop-ups, popover, tooltips and many others, you can just come here and use popover. Okay, you can just include this. So you see here, the one we have here is this bootstrap alpha, and then you can see they have also included it here. Okay, so you can just simply copy these 2 lines of code. Okay, include those 2 lines of code down here. Just remove this one and then just add bootstrap JS CDN. So there are those 2 lines, just as you had copied, paste them here. Okay, just simply paste them here. Okay, so just like that, you have your bootstrap CDN, and you can also just copy this one, bring it down here. Okay, just like that. Now that is great. So we want to test out if Bootstrap is now working. I'm just going to go on go live. Today my VS Code is very slow. I can notice that. The starting extension forever, and even the go live button, you can see it is not willing to start right now. So meanwhile, what I did, I also created a new file called notes. So during when you are doing a project, a big project, and I want to repeat it, when you are doing a big project, please create this file. So this file I created here, notes. You can create a file called notes. Okay, you can create this file called notes. Now the notes file is good to, as you are making research, as you are progressing on a website, you are making research on different things, so you keep putting them in the notes. Okay, so for instance, you might find a link which has something you want, you put it there. You may find something, so you create a link, or you create something that gives you the notes. Okay, so I created this notes.md, and .md means markdown. Now if it is your first time hearing markdown is also a templating language, the way you see HTML. So markdown is there. So I also created this file, and we'll be putting some notes, and I already have some notes I have there already, okay, about Jumia. As I was making some research, I wanted to show you that everything you have to make research. For instance, those colors, the what, all those things, you can just go ahead and put them, but I will still show you how I got to know all these things here. Okay, but it is good you have this file of notes as you move on, as we are researching. For instance, even when you are building the project, all the cool things that you have done or you are learning right now, just keep putting them in the notes part, so that those notes, at the end of the day, you can have them, you can read them, or you can go through and see things that you have discovered during that period. Okay, I want to believe it will go live. What I'm just going to do, I'm just going to first close this project, and then I open it again. Okay, let me just open this project again. It is on the desktop, Ecommerce. Open this in VS Code, and hope this time it will load faster. Okay, so that is one thing that we did. So meanwhile, let's be discovering the colors that they use it, as we are waiting to test if our Bootstrap has worked. Remember, we have included in index, we have added all these links here. Okay, we have added this link, this JavaScript, we have added this the CDN for the CSS Java Bootstrap, and also added these two lines for Bootstrap CDN JavaScript. So just do that, and now what we are waiting for is we are waiting to test if it has worked. And we have here h1 says hello world. We can also test it using a class here. So I'm just going to give a class, and let's say a class is going to be text. So this class I'm putting here is a class for Bootstrap, which makes the word red. So you can see how it is making the word, I said text, and then I put the color there. So the color here, the danger, means red in Bootstrap. So wherever you see the word danger is related to red. Okay, so as we are waiting for the extension to activate, you can see here they are starting. Let's just be doing other things as we are waiting for them. So meanwhile, we have here this main.scss. So this is where our styles are going to live. Now, to avoid cluttering this whole place with Sass files, we are going to create another folder where we are going to put Sass partial files. So all the partial files for different pages, for different sections, we are going to put them there. Okay, so we're just going to come here and create a new folder, and this folder I'm just going to call it Sass. Okay, just like that. I'm just going to call that folder Sass. Okay, so as you're waiting, you can see everything today on my VS Code seems to be really slow. I don't know why, but I guess it is going to stabilize. Okay, and this CSS, I don't think it was there or is necessary. Okay, so let's move on. Meanwhile, let me just go back to the website. So the website, let's take time now to identify different colors that this website, what they use on this website. It is the first thing. When you go to website, identify colors and fonts so that you use it, or you use the you put them in a variable. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do is we are going to identify colors. Okay, we are going to identify colors, and I want to log out here. Okay, I will log in afterwards, but for now when you are designing, let me first log out so that you see this thing of my account. Okay, so we are going to first have colors, and let's start with this color. There is this color here, there is this one in the button, and the button one is the most dark one. Actually, there is also this hover color here. We are going to see, so we have this normal color we have there, and then we have the hover. So the easiest, if you have an extension, there is an extension you can use, this one called color picker. So there is this color pick eyedrop is an extension. You can check for this extension called color pick. It is color pick Chrome extension. So you can just say Chrome. Okay, and you can just put this color pick Chrome extension. Okay, I already have it here. You can just simply add it. Now that extension can help you also pick colors from a website. You just simply click here and click on this color pick, and then when you come to like this button here, it is going to give you the exact color. Okay, just simply click there and it gives you this color here. Okay, so that is great, and I want to show you another way. If you don't want to use an extension, I will show you another way how you can get these colors. So the easiest way to get these colors, just simply right click to inspect. I can even right click on this very button and inspect. Okay, so click on the button and inspect. Now they bring you all these, and you can see since we right clicked on the button is here. Just simply scroll down here, we have CSS, and you can simply click here, scroll down. Let me just first increase this, so you can just simply scroll down here, and we hope to see that color somewhere. Okay, so you can see the background color of the button. You see it is this color here. Okay, so this one we are just going to call it orange. Okay, so the color is going to be in 3 phases. It's going to be the real color orange, orange dark, and orange light. Okay, so let's first pick this one, and you may be asking, where are we going to put it? So where we are going to put it, first of all, in this main is going to be compiling the actual Sass in these files, and then in this folder we have created, we'll be putting the partial files. Now if it is your first time to create a partial file or to hear about partial files is a way how we can split our code into different files. Okay, then these partial files, they will compile their code into this main Sass. Then this main Sass will compile its code to the CSS. So just simply create a new file, and then we create partial file by using underscore. So put underscore and let's say variables, if I can spell it, variables.scss, like so. So this is where we are going to put all our variables, okay, colors, fonts, box shadows, and other many things. So let's start with the first color. I'm just going to say here color primary, and now so I'm just going to have it as, instead of saying orange or green or what, just name them to this one where you have primary. So you're just going to say here primary, as in primary color. So just have that primary. And you can also see in Bootstrap here, when we will go to colors, I don't know if they have here colors, okay, they must be having somewhere they have colors, and you can see here they have a lot of colors, okay. They have text primary, they have all these things for colors, and you could just come here on Sass variable. You see they have all these their colors. So the color utilities are generated by our themes. So you can see they have all these variables. So you can just simply come here and change these colors they have here. You can see they have primary as $blue, and you can see their blue they are here, they have their colors here. So you can just come here and you customize these ones, and automatically Bootstrap is going to change. You see they have all these primary, secondary, success, blah 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 blah. You get it? So we are going to see how we can customize these colors, and then you can see they used also CSS, Sass. They have variable.scss here. So if you want to customize their colors, you can simply copy these ones, and then we can customize them. For instance, you see primary here is $blue, secondary is gray, and other things and so forth. Okay, so we are going to try to customize these things to our own, but our primary, what we want it to represent is to represent this color we have just seen here, this one. So this one is going to be our primary color. And how do you know the primary color? The primary color to me it is Ctrl+C to copy. To me, primary color is the most dominant color. So you can see yellow here on Jumia is the most dominant color. This orange color is the most dominant, so that's why I'm calling it to be the primary color. So you can see we have primary. So now we are going to have 3 variations for this. The dark. So the dark, if you want to see it, I think we should see the hover. Let me check on the hover. I want to see the background. I want to see the color, that button color on the hover, I guess. Let's say computed styles. Okay, so you can see I guess this one is the background color on the hover. I'm not sure. Let me cross check if this one is the same as what we copied. I want to get the background color. You see when you hover here, this stuff becomes more. How do I remove this hover state? Okay, let me just simply refresh. Okay, we shall just simply, we can darken it. So I'm just going to simply click on it again, so you can see. And by the way, when you hover on the button, just click on this button here for the inspecting the elements. You see when you hover, they also give you all these the color palettes and all that kind of stuff. They give you all these things here. which can be really helpful. Okay, so that is cool. We have that color. So let's have another one. I'm just going to put this aside here, and let's look at some other colors. So there is this one for the background. So you can just simply click like on this first section. Let me first close this, and let me first reduce it like that, so that I can see very well. So inspect again, and I want to inspect this first div here. It has this color here. So you see there is this other background color here, this one. So this one, I'm just going to take it as the primary. So we can have dollar primary, and let's say this one is medium. Okay, that is medium, and let's check if down the one that is down here. So let's check this. I don't know if that is the, so scroll down. I want to see that one, and it is the same. So this is primarily maybe light. Okay, let's call that one primary light, since it is the last one. Now there is this one which comes on hover. You can check that one that comes on hover. Now I'm just going to try to inspect this hover button, and I wanted to check it in the hover state, but I got challenged somehow. I thought I could focus element state. So if I focus like hover, I wanted to see what does it now come, and the colors in the hover state. Oh, so you just simply focus it in the hover state and come back here, it will give you the color. So you can see here the background now has changed, and it is this other color. Okay, it is E07 E1B, E07 E1B, E07. So just going to have here primary dark. Okay, so it is going to be hash E07 E1B. Okay, so that is the dark color. So this one is we have the light, and then we have this dark, and then we have the light. So we have these three colors, and they will work for us. And you have seen how I have managed to get all those colors. Okay, that is great. That is great, guys. We are done getting those colors. So we have more colors. For instance, we have this gray color going on here. So I'm just going to inspect this one, and I see if I can get this gray color. So let me remove this hover thing here. So there is this color here, it is gray. So I'm just going to copy this one. So you can just come here and call this one maybe you could call it tertiary, or you could call it even gray, and then you paste it there. So that is the color gray they have. And then they also have white. So you can see there is the white that is moving on, like in this div. The background color is typical white. Okay, the background color is typical white. I guess if you check, you really see that the background color is white. Even in this, the background color is white. So they have also white color, and then they also have black. So I'm just going to say dollar white, and it is the white color. And then the another color they have is this black. they are using here, and you can see it is 31, 31, 33. So they have this, we could call this one as secondary color. Okay, could just say secondary, and this secondary color is hash 31, 31, 33. Okay, just like that. Then they have also black. So if you check like on this, let's say something else, here, let me just scroll here. Let's see the color they used here. So they have that color, and then there is where they have also black. So you see the most one they used is that color. Okay, I think they used, that is the color they used for black. Now let's also have this other red color. They have a red color they have down here. So just get this one. So you could just hover here, and you can see it is E6, but you can simply click there and come down on styles, just scroll, you will see this color here. So just copy this one, and we're just going to call this one, okay, just dollar. We could just call it maybe success or something. Let's call this one success, or info. In fact, let's call this one to be info. You are the one who creates these colors. You can give them any names you want. By the way, I'm not saying I made up or these names, or it is a must use these names. Okay, these ones, they help you to know what is the secondary color for the company, or what is the tertiary color. In fact, this one we could also call it tertiary. It doesn't matter. Just like you have the primary, you have the tertiary, and you have even this one. And you can have three colors. The way I had this one primary in 3, you can also have this one in 3, so that you have it in the most dark version and others. So you'll be adding other colors if it is necessary. Okay, so for the colors we are done, and hoping now our website have loaded. So just go back to index here. I'm just going to say go live. Okay, so it is starting the to take our browser in the live, so that we can see what we have done so far. So we have this, so you can see here the text danger is working. That means the Bootstrap was successfully put. Okay, so Bootstrap was successfully put. We have our Bootstrap in our project right now. Okay, congratulations, already we have Bootstrap. Moving on, I'm just going to put the title here, and the title of a website, you can see it from here on top. You see they have put Jumia Uganda online shopping something. So this is their header, Jumia Uganda online shopping for groceries, cleaning supplies, and many others. So I'm just going to say Jumia. So can I say Jumia Uganda for shopping. Okay, you don't need to put all of them, but just put like that. Okay, so down our first part we are going to do in this video. Okay, I don't want to make this video longer, so I think after adding Bootstrap we should stop from there. Okay, so but let's go ahead and build this first part, and after finishing this part here, we are going to close that episode. Okay, so we have this part going on, but another thing I want you guys to notice is that the website is cutting from some point. You can see this, everything is passing on this line here. Okay, what I'm trying to mean is let me try to put my pen here. What I'm trying to mean is the website is having like a max width somewhere, like it cannot exceed that that part. You can see, let me just grab here a pen, and you see that the website stops, it passes here. A minute. So you see the website goes here like so, and then like this you can see it goes up to these ends. Okay, you see the it has up to this side. So this one is what I'm trying to say, is that container that is holding the max width. So whether the website, the screen keeps on being big, the more the big the website becomes, the max width makes sure that the website remains in the center of the screen and it is not affected. So we are going to see how we are going to put that one in our project also, or how we are going to implement that. But this first part here is having this image. Okay, so this image you're seeing here is a GIF, and a GIF is something like an animated image, or a video. It's not like a video, but it is under images. It is like an animated image, and I will show you in the future how to make this. If you're wondering how you would make this for your own website, I will show you how to make this one, and I think it will be cool. Okay, I will show you how you can make that. Okay, so for now, what we can do right now is first of all download this image and we put it in our folder. So save this image. So by right clicking and save image, and just go on desktop to our folder. I'm just going to create a new folder here called assets. So create a new folder called assets, where we can put our images. So this one is the top banner, okay, and I'm just going also to put LG, so meaning for the large screen. Now if you inspect, or if you go in the video, not in the video, in the for smaller screen, so you see this is for a big screen. Okay, so if we go responsive wise, now for responsive we'll be using a Chrome extension. If you don't have this Chrome extension, let me show you what it is called. Just go to a minute, let me tell you the name of this Chrome extension. So this Chrome extension is called mobile something. Okay, it is here. So just search for this name, go and download this one. We are going to use this one for testing mobile responsive. Just go and put this name, mobile simulator responsive testing tool, Chrome. Just put that Chrome, it will bring you this extension. So install this Chrome extension here. Install this Chrome extension. Me, I already have it, that's why I say remove from Chrome. I already have it. Just for you, click here to install this Chrome extension. It's going to help us to test how our websites look on mobile phone. So coming back here, just pause the video and install the extension, and then come back for the video. So here I have this extension installed. Now when you install it, just come to this thing here. I'm using this stuff here on Chrome in the top right corner here. Click on it, and you can just come here and pin it. Just click on this pin thing, it will come on top here. So when you click on this one, it tries to run this website in the responsive mode on the phone. So what I want to show you is this top part here, is that on this phone it changes and it becomes like this. If you notice here, it has changed, it is no longer this big one. That means they have two images, one image for the large screen and one image for the mobile phones. Okay, so I'm just going to show you that trick in this video, and let's save this one for the small screen. Okay, I'm just going to try to save this one. I'm not sure if they are different. I'm just going to say top banner, and this one I'm just going to say SM, hoping it is the one. Let me just first open it to confirm if it is the one for the small screen. Okay, just want to confirm if it is the one for the small screen so that we move on. It is still here loading. Okay, just a second. Just want to confirm if it is not the same as for the large screen. So I'm just going to show that technique on how you show two images. One shows, yeah, that's the good one, and you can see it is an image, but it is actually just playing like that. I will show you how to make this one. I think in the next video, I don't know. Okay, so we have the two images. We have one image that shows on this big screen, and we have also this one which shows on the small screen. Okay, so that is great, guys. That is great. Let's move on. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to create a div for the top banner. Now, this thing I have just showed you, this one of max width or of making the website be here. We can achieve this kind of thing by using a container. Okay, so a container in Bootstrap, let me just go back to here so they can explain what a container is. So Bootstrap, they have a class called the container, and this container, how does it help us? So the container has two individual purposes. So I'm just going to say Bootstrap, okay, container. So I'm just going to explain about the Bootstrap container right now. So Bootstrap has two containers. Okay, Bootstrap has two containers. It has the first class of the container is called just a normal container. So a normal container covers a width of equal to 80%. Okay, so it goes on the website and it covers, you can see it leaves the 10% here and 10% this side. And another thing is that you see this container is centered. Okay, this container is centered and it has also a max width of 80%. So it does not exceed the 80% of the view width. It keeps like this, okay, and which is good. So now that is the first one, and this is one you are going to use here of 80%. So it covers 80%. Then we have another one, another class called container fluid. So container fluid. Now container fluid, this one covers 100%. Okay, so this one covers 100%. Okay, and I can just go to Bootstrap here and I search that class, and that's how we are going to be learning Bootstrap. Whenever we reach on this topic, just simply take that topic and write about it. So the containers, you can see they wrote something about them. Containers are fundamental building blocks of Bootstrap that contain, pad, and align your content within a given device or viewport. So they show you how they work here. Containers are most basically out in Bootstrap. So a container, they show you what it does. The .container class, it sets a max width at each respective breakpoints. Okay, and you can see we have the container fluid, and also we have the container, and you put your own breakpoint. So you can see the normal container here. It has its own breakpoint. On small screens 100%, and then on these other screens it has this max width set onto them. Okay, so it has this max width it is following, and then the container fluid, it sets the width to be 100%. Okay, so that is what the container class, it is controlling the max width of a container. And so just to make our life easy, I'm just going to go back here, and I'm just going to build the first part of our website, which is going to be, so we are just going to have this is our space. So the first part here I'm just going to write here is going to be the top banner. Okay, let's get into the code flow now. So the top banner, I want it to be top banner, and so it is going to be inside here. So I'm just going to have the class top banner, and inside the top banner I'm just going to have a container. And when I say dot container, it creates a div and gives it a class of a container, like so. So I'm putting this container to make sure that if you look at the design here of Jumia, the top banner has this background color, and for it is exceeding the container, is occupying 100%. That's why I put the container inside, because it is this image that is inside that is occupying that 80%. Okay, so these images are the ones that are occupying 80%. And another thing, these images are inside a link. Are you seeing? When I hover here, just check in the corner down here. So when I hover here, that is a link. That means we can link it somewhere. I'm just going to put here an anchor tag inside, and for now we can put a hash, and then inside here we are going to put the image. Now we would put the image, but now the challenge we have, let me just put this image here, dot slash, go to assets, and then put this top banner gif. Now when I do that and I go back, you can see I have the and you can see the container is already centering this div right now, and you can see it is already working now. But the problem we have on a smaller device, okay, I want to do that one right away. When you go on responsive, you see we still have this image. What we want is that on the responsive part, we don't want this image. We want this image to change into this other one, this one. So how do we achieve that in HTML? Actually, we don't need JavaScript to do that. We can do that in HTML. So how we do it in HTML? We use the new picture element. Okay, so they brought in a new picture element. It is new. So how does the picture element work? Just write picture. Okay, just write the picture like that. Now the picture takes in the source of the images. So it takes in the source of the images. Actually, just source, as in source media. Just come here and say source media. Okay, so, or you can just first put this one, source set, and they give us this source type here. And so just put here the image dot slash assets, and let's first put this log, the log one. Now we don't need the type right now. So you can just put these two images here. Okay, so the picture has ability to show two images, and now not at once. Okay, so we want one image to show on the large screen and another one to show on a small screen. So I want first put the second image, which was assets sm. So I'm just going to say here sm. Okay, no, let me just link it very well, dot slash assets, and is this sm. So we have these two images. We don't want all of them to show at once. Okay, we don't all of them to show at once. We want one to show on a large screen and another one to show on a smaller screen. So how do we differentiate that? So we can write a media query within here. Okay, we can write in HTML excuse me guys. So we can write our media query here for this the log image to show only on large screens, and then this one to show only on small screens. And how do we do that? So we have first write the picture, put the two sources for your images. Now let's write here another attribute and that attribute is media. So write media. Now on this media is where we write the the media query. So for this one, we want this one to show on large screens, and so we can just say, for instance, max, in fact we can just use mean width. So I'm just going to say mean width. So write mean width and put brackets, and these brackets I'm just going to say, I guess this one should be in brackets. So just write mean width equal to, so here let's just say 769, okay, pixels, like so. So this one will show up on this media query. Now for the other one, we want it to show it on a small screen. Okay, this other desktop banner SM. This one we want it on media, and this one instead we are going to use max width. Okay, max width 768. What do I mean? That means this one 769 mean width, that means starting from 769 and above, show this image. And when we say max width 768, that means starting from 768 and below, show this image. Okay, so I'm not sure if I've written a good syntax here for the media query, but let's check on this. Let's just put this one here. So let's just check. Actually on the small screen seems is not showing anything. That means our media is not written well. So you can just come here and search for the picture. Okay, picture media query. So you can just search something like that. I'm showing you how you would quickly see that. So just say picture media query, and you just click on the first link that would show up here. So here they have they are showing us a lot of stuff. So but what we want to see is actually the media query. And actually this media query, it is very important. I wrote it somewhere. Okay, so under my notes I just wrote that media query. I just knew I would forget the syntax, and I wrote it here. Okay, so but you can see it is inside this one. We have this source. Okay, so we have this source, and it is a self-closing tag. And the only thing we messed up is this source set. It is not source, but the source set. But the media queries have been written very well, so it is this source set. Okay, so just go back here, and that's why I normally tell you, just write your notes. Okay, some things that you are going to use, you can just put them in your notes, or just like this one, put in your notes so that you can always remember it. So instead of source, just put source set. Okay, and let me also change this one to source set. Okay, that is great. But then these links remain, and these media queries are valid. So let's now go back and test our website. Okay, let me just first go in the website. It seems so we are going to first of all give a fallback. Okay, the fact that the picture is new, you have to write this one, and then you have to give a fallback. Okay, what is a fallback? So the fallback, let's put the image assets top banner. So why we are putting this image here, this one is to ensure that if this picture is not supported in some browsers, it will fall back to this image, this normal image here. So you have to put these two images for different media queries, or for viewport widths. But then you have also to indicate this img here inside. in case this picture element is not supported. So when we go back, let's load, and we are seeing it loading. So what I want is to go on the small device. I can click on this responsive, and we see we have the other image working. You see, we have the other image working. We are going to fix it in a minute, but you can see it is changing the images. Okay, you see on this is the small screen, it has this one, and then on the big screen you see it has this one. Okay, that is good. So having sorted out that one, it takes out many things and it gives us something new to learn. Okay, if you are liking and you're learning so much from this video, please hit the subscribe button and also the like button, so that we can support, or you can support us in that way. So for this top banner, we are going to create a partial file for it here. So this top banner and the header overall, I'm just going to create for them one partial file. I'm just going to create this one and call it header.scss. I'm just going to put all the styles inside here. So before I forget, these two files, you first bring them inside here, and always on top bring variables first. So I'm just going to say add import, and what are we importing? We are importing /, okay, Sass. So go to Sass and pick the variables first, and you don't need to put .scss, just only put that. Then the second one, add import and /Sass, and now header.scss. So the variables, since they are going to be used in all other files, that's why they have to be the first on top. Okay, I repeat, some people are going to get errors because they have variables in other places. Make sure your variables are the first line here on importing in this main.scss. Okay, so at this point I have this here, the header and the variables. So go back to the header here, and let's say top banner, and it is always good you copy this name from HTML here, and you see here the one I'd used is a different one. Okay, so let me remove this and put that. So copy this class. Always copy the classes to avoid you writing a different name. Copy like that. Inside here, the first thing I'm just going to put is the background color, and the background color we're just going to show that is going to be the primary. So put primary, and this primary you're putting here is this one in the variables. So how it works, when they all come down here, the variables will be there, and then they can be used in the header. So if I go back, you see that I'm assuming it's supposed, we have to watch Sass. So after you have written your code in Sass, if you have this Sass compiler, you will have this watch Sass button. So click on watch Sass. So this one is going to compile our written Sass into CSS. So you notice it has generated, it tells you what it has done here. It has generated for me CSS. Okay, it has generated for me here CSS, main CSS. So it has created a new folder called CSS, and it has here main CSS, and you can see it has top banner with the background color put very well. Now in your case, you don't have this folder. Your main.css is going to be on top here, and just simply leave it there. You don't need to put in any folder like mine. May have different configurations, and I don't want to complicate it anymore. Just simply leave your main.css there the way it is. The only thing you have to do, go to your index and link that CSS that has been generated. So on top here, after, not before. So just go here where we have the Bootstrap CDN. Down here, write a comment and say custom CSS, like so. And here I'm just going to say link, okay, link CSS. Now for your case, just simply change this one to main, like so, main.css, and it will be somewhere here. Now for my case, this main is into ./css file, like so. So here I've linked it, and if I go back now, it is going to compile, and you can see this kind of scenario. Okay, so this one is just the same like here. I guess here we have to use it is light, so just go back to header and just put here light. It is not the dark one. Put light, go back, and you see we'll have the light color like here. Okay, great. Great. That one we have it already working, but there is one problem. If you check on the mobile, of course we are going to be also working side by side with the mobile, so that we don't want, if we finish a part. So you see on the mobile here, the image somehow is not fitting in very well. So what you can do inside here, the top banner, we can, first of all, we can give it width of 100%. Okay, that is good. And then inside we target the image that is inside the banner, this top banner. First of all, give it a width of 100%. Okay, this one will make sure it always fits in the container. So if you go back now, you see that our image is nicely and sweetly fitting in very well. Okay, even on this large screen is nice, and even on this small screen it is looking great. So already we have that part done. Thank you so much for watching this episode. This is the first episode where we have done the top banner. So see you in the next video or episode.